Thank you so much for joining me back here. Today we're going to do a wrap-up video, December, January, first wrap-up of the year, whatever you want to call it. Today we're going to talk about all the books I read in December of 2022 and January of 2023. My daughter's here. She's awake. She's happy and playing. So if you hear her, that's what's going on. I had an okay reading month in December. I had a pretty good reading month in January. December's always a slow month for me just because we do a lot of traveling. We visit a lot of family, that kind of stuff for Christmas. So it was okay. In the month of December, I read 4 books, a wide variety of books. First up, I have First Christmas on Huckleberry Hill by Jennifer Beckstrand. I love the Matchmakers of Huckleberry Hill series by her. If you've been on my channel, you know that. She is one of my favorite romance authors. She writes Amish romances. So if you are a fellow Christian and you're looking for some faith-based romance, she is fantastic, and she infuses all of her stories with some humor, which I love. This one specifically follows Anna and Felty as a young couple, so it's kind of their backstory and how they came to be together. So in the original Huckleberry Hill series, Anna and Felty are older, they're grandparents, and the series is based around the fact that they're matchmaking their grandchildren. So we know them, we're familiar with them, and this book follows their love story, and I loved it. I kind of wish I had read it physically. I listened to this one as an audiobook, and I wish I'd read it physically because I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more. The narrator for this book was a little off for me, and I think I would have liked it a little bit better if I had done it myself. Next up, I have Belle by Stephen King. This is my first Stephen King book ever. My husband had this book, he's read it, and has kind of been asking me to read it for years now because he wanted to talk to me about it. And so I finally did it. I was like, I'm in the mood for something different. Finally read it, listened to it as an audiobook, even though we have the physical copy. Liked it a lot more than I thought I would. I actually have a reading vlog that I recorded for it that I need to edit and, you know, upload and that kind of stuff. So I do have more in-depth thoughts coming on this soon. Overall, I liked it. I liked the ending. My husband did not. I liked it though. That's all I'm going to say. That's not all I'm going to say. I feel like I know I personally associate Stephen King with horror. This was more of like a thriller to me, which I think may have been why I liked it more than I expected to, because I'm not a huge horror person. I don't really want to read that kind of stuff. But I do enjoy thrillers. There's a difference to me. So this was more of a thriller in my opinion, and I liked it. Next up, I have A Holly Jilly Christmas by Emma St. Clair. I love Emma St. Clair. You know this. I love her. No exception. This is a little novella, just a little Christmas novella, kind of spin-off characters from... What are you doing? You see your little teeth? You got your little rabbit teeth? Yeah. What was I saying? Emma St. Clair. Little novella, Christmas novella, sheet cake series. So the Graham Brothers, you know, the Buy-In, the Bluff, if you've read those, this kind of has to deal with that town. It was great. I loved it. I loved the characters. It was a quick read. Like I say, it was a novella. Christmassy read, but obviously you can read it outside of Christmas. Great. Next up, last book for December, I have Dream On by Angie Hockman. This I listened to as an audiobook. She is the same author that wrote Shipped, I think is the name of it, which I did enjoy. I enjoyed this one as well, maybe not as much. In this one, our main character gets into a car crash. This all happens before the book starts, but she has been in a car crash. She was in a coma, I believe, and it has kind of messed with her memory. So she has a hard time remembering things, and it's kind of given her like a traumatic brain injury type thing. And when she wakes up from this coma, she remembers this man, and she remembers very clearly this relationship that they had. So much so that she like draws him in her journal. She's like an artist type thing / lawyer. She's a lawyer that loves art and wanted to go be an artist, but her mom kind of pushed her to be a lawyer type thing. One of those deals. Anyways, she wakes up from her coma, remembers this man, like draws his picture in journals, and remembers him and their relationship so very vividly, but no one else in her life knows about him. And she never really told anyone that she was seeing this guy. So when she wakes up from her coma, it's kind of just like he never existed, that she just kind of made him up. And then one day, and she sees him, and she's like, that's the guy. Like, he's real. That's him. I know him. I've drawn him. I've remembered memories with him. And so it's kind of a story of the two of them kind of figuring out how she knows him, if she really knows him, their relationship together, since she remembers very clearly that they've had this whole relationship. He doesn't know her. So it's kind of like an amnesia, let's figure this out kind of thing. And then his brother also plays a large role in the story as well. It was great. It was cute. I would recommend it, but I just think I like shipped better. All right, now let's get into January, which was also a good reading month for me, better than December. First up, I have A Vow So Bold and Deadly by Bridget Kimmerer. This is the third and last book in the Cursebreaker trilogy, I think it's called. Beauty and the Beast retelling. Love the first two. I got this one for Christmas because I had read the first two on Scribd, and I was fairly certain I would like the series, and so I kind of mentioned wanting them for my shelves. And so my mom got me the last two. I had the first one, she got me the second two. Read this one over Christmas break after, you know, she gave it to me, and really liked it. I like the ending. I think it ends well. You didn't like it? I think it ends well. I know some people probably didn't like the ending. I haven't really heard much about it. I'm a little late to this one. I did like how everything turned out though. I thought it was great. I don't want to give too much away because it's the third book, but I liked it. Next up, I have one that I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. I have Belle, which is an Amish retelling of Beauty and the Beast by Sarah Price. And I listened to this one on audiobook as well, and I loved it. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite, in case you can't tell, two retellings back to back. But I loved it. I was itching for a little bit of faith-based romance, and this was fantastic. It was sweet. I liked the characters. I think it was interesting how everything played out. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Next up, I have one of my favorite reads of the year so far. When in Rome by Sarah Adams. Loved it. Probably one of my favorite Sarah Adams books. This one and The Match are very close. No, The Enemy. I'm reading The Match right now. This one and The Enemy are very close. Consumed by this. Read it, stayed up late at night to read it. Slow burn romance. Basically, our main character, it's kind of like a pop star / country guy kind of thing. Our main character, Amelia, right? Yeah. It's Amelia and Noah. So Amelia is like a famous pop star and just wants to get away from everything for a little bit. She's overwhelmed. She's kind of anxiety ridden. No one sees her. No one sees that she's drowning. And so she wants to get away. And she drives to this random town called Rome, Kentucky. And she breaks down in front of this guy's house, Noah, our main male protagonist. And he kind of takes her in. There's no room at the hotel in town because everyone's kind of conspiring against them. It's one of those small towns where everybody knows each other and everyone's very close, and everyone watched Noah grow up and kind of saw him from diapers to now he's a grown man, and everyone meddles in everyone else's life. The side characters in this town are one of the best parts of this book. I loved it. Her next book comes out in May and is also set in this town, and I'm so excited for it. I just want more of this world. I want more of this town. I want more of these characters. Like a big happy family, and I can't wait for more. This one specifically though, what was I saying? There's no room at the inn because the woman at who owns the inn refuses to give Amelia a room because she wants something to spark between her and Noah. Everyone is meddling in their love lives. It's fantastic. Slow burn, clean romance, fade to black more so. What else can I say about this? Funny, hilarious. I laughed out loud consistently throughout. And like I say, great characters. Some of my favorite characters. I actually want to do a dedicated video for this, so I'll talk more about it in that. All right, next up I have another rom-com. That's just going to be a pattern for me from now on. I'm just a rom-com channel now. I have The Neighbor War by Katie Bailey. I read the first one, The Roommate Situation, maybe, last year, and loved it. Thought it was sweet. This one, same characters, kind of, side characters from the first book type of thing. It follows our main male protagonist. I'm terrible with names, guys. Basically, neighbors hate each other, are forced to pretend that they're dating, and lo and behold, they've had feelings for each other the whole time. One of those types of deals. Sweet though, liked it. There is, I think she has diabetes, so diabetes representation in this, fantastic. I recommend it. Listen to it on Scribd. Next up, I re-listened to The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. She's coming out with a new one for this series, so I kind of just wanted to refresh my mind on this one. Reread it, re-listened to it. fantastic. Again, laughed out loud. Our main characters, Bree and Nathan, I think, have been best friends since high school. Another deal where they've always loved each other and are afraid to admit it because they don't want to ruin their friendship. He's a famous football player. She owns a ballet studio. Forced fake dating. Great. Recommend it. Anything by Sarah Adams, I recommend though. 2 more books, 1 more rom-com. I have Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. This is, okay guys, first of all, let me just say this. This might not matter to some people as like an English person. This is riddled with grammatical errors and typos, and the editor's name, I'm not gonna call anybody out, but the editor's name is even listed like on the rights page. And so I'm just in here like, I'm not gonna hire that editor because they missed a lot. Anyways, I think it's self-pubbed, so maybe a little bit more understandable. Besides the point. Accidentally Amy. Our main character is not named Amy. Her name is Izzy, and our main male protagonist's name is Blake. And so Izzy one day gets a new job. She's in Starbucks waiting for her order. She ordered a pumpkin spice latte, and Amy's name is called. Her coffee's set on the counter. And it's called like 3 or 4 times, and no one is coming up to claim it. And like I say, it's Izzy's first day of her new job. She might be late. She's just standing there waiting in line. She's afraid she's going to miss her first day of work. And so since no one goes to claim that cup, she walks up and she claims it as her own because it was another pumpkin spice latte. So she grabs it. And when she turns around, she knocks into this man and spills her coffee all over him. And since the name on the mug said Amy, he thinks her name is Amy. And so they kind of hit it off a little bit, even though she just soaked him with her coffee. And they meet again later in the story. And again, he thinks her name is Amy. So they go through their first couple interactions and he thinks her name is Amy. Something happens. They end up working together. Her new job is actually at his company. He's like a CEO or something like that of this company. He's one of the big wigs, and he is her new boss. And it doesn't sit well with him that she lied about her name and about who she is. But lo and behold, they move past that. Workplace romance, kind of, not supposed to be. Friends to lovers because they get along so well, but since they work together, since she works for him, they're not supposed to be together. So all they can be is friends, even though they want to be lovers, that type of situation. It was cute. Didn't get through it as fast as I wanted to. It's not that long. It's less than 300 pages, but I just was busy. It was good though. Overall, not clean. There's some spice in here, some language, but it was funny. I liked it overall. Last book I want to talk about, I'm actually kind of excited to talk about because it is branching out. It's not a romantic comedy. I have Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. Thriller, fantastic. I've read one book by her before, I do believe. The Guest List. Is The Guest List by her? Let me go see before I go saying that, and then I'm wrong. I'm telling you wrong information. No, Lucy Foley. Am I reading a book by Lucy Foley now? Yes. Okay, my mind is getting all cluttered. Scratch that. Alice Feeney did not write The Guest List. We'll talk about her again next month. Anyways, Alice Feeney, Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is told in kind of 3 different perspectives. So it's told from our female, a male, and then through letters of the past. So these 2 have been married for like 10-ish years or so, and each year on their anniversary, the wife writes a letter for her husband. And so we're kind of jumping back and forth. We're in their present life throughout their narrations, and then we'll get a letter from her that kind of gives us an insight into their relationship at that point in time on that anniversary of whichever year. Interesting narrative. In the current moment, their marriage is struggling a little bit on both fronts. They both recognize that it's not going well. And so they don't decide, but she wins like this weekend getaway to this Scottish chapel almost. And so they go, and when they get there, it's secluded. There's no one around. It's kind of creepy. It's eerie. And when they get inside the chapel itself, nothing really is what they expected. It's not really the type of place that one would want to go for a weekend getaway. And as they're there, they find these things and they start recognizing things. Things start happening. She thinks she sees like the face of a woman in the window. Oh, there's 3 different narratives actually. We have Robin as well, who is kind of not the groundskeeper, but she lives in a little cottage near this chapel. So she's the only person around this chapel, and she's the only one that is there while these things are happening to them. I really like the end. I did not see it coming. It was what made me enjoy this the most. I recommend it 100%. I listened to it as an audiobook. The pacing is great. I was on edge a lot. Fast read, just because you're kind of invested in the story. It was great. Face dysmorphia? Is that the name of it? Yes, facial dysmorphia is represented in this book. Our main male protagonist and our main male character in this book has facial dysmorphia. So he can't recognize facial features. They just kind of blur together, and he can't really pick a person out. He has a hard time making connections because he can't recognize people, which plays a large role in this book, and it's interesting. Opened my eyes to it, didn't really know that was a thing. It's represented in this book. Fantastic. I recommend it if you're looking for a thriller. So there we go. Those are all the books I read in December and January. Off to a good start. I'm feeling good. What else can I say other than that? Feeling good. One of my goals this year was to read more thrillers and branch out a little bit more, and I've done that. I feel like I had a pretty rounded reading month. In January, I read some fantasy, I read some rom-coms, I read some thrillers, I read an Amish romance that wasn't a rom-com. I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. This year's going to be great. I hope it's going great for you as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have any book recommendations for me. What was your favorite book in January/December? And what are you looking forward to reading next? You guys are awesome. I'm so thankful for you, and I'm so blessed to have you. And we'll be back here next time. See ya! What? Do you have something in your mouth? Or are you just chewing on your tongue?
Oh.
Let me see. Aren't you so cute? Okay. Say bye. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. No. No. Yeah, you're tired. Oh, where's Ellie? Where's Ellie? Oh, there she is. Where's Ellie?